guys, I'm really sorry that again I didn't do my SmackDown review at the weekend. I'm actually useless. I'm like one of the most useless YouTubers that there is. But Friday is a really bad day since I have SmackDown because I have to work late on Friday night, so I can't watch it in the evening. And then I work all day on Saturday, and then I'm usually doing something at the weekend. So then by then it comes up to Monday and Tuesday and I work, and then I end up just watching both of them on my day off on Wednesday, which is really annoying. So I'm really sorry. Tell me that I fail, because I actually do. I really do try and do like my SmackDown review at the weekend, but I just don't get a chance to watch it, and yeah, I'm useless. I shouldn't make excuses, I just fail at being a YouTuber. But never mind. I'm sorry if it's a bit noisy in the background. My dad's like mowing the lawn outside, so yeah, it's amazing weather. Honestly, it's so hot. For me to actually feel hot is amazing, because I'm just always cold like all the time, but at the moment it's like ugh. So hopefully that doesn't mean we're going to have like a really awful summer, because usually if we get really hot like in the spring, then we usually get like rain all through the summer, which sucks. But I'm not going to talk about the weather, because that's like what old people talk about. So yeah, anyway, moving on to the wrestling. I wasn't very impressed with SmackDown and Raw this week, to be fair. Raw was dire. I'm so glad I didn't go and actually see it live in London. It might have been good if you were there, but watching it I was like so bored like the whole way through. Anyway, SmackDown, main points. Alberto Del Rio comes out and says that he should be the champion, like, you know, Edge should just give him the belt. Teddy Long says no, that he's only the #1 contender. They're going to have a 20-man battle royal to determine who the other #1 contender will be. I wonder who that's going to be. Christian. Anyway, as if that wasn't like completely obvious from the get-go. The core seems to be breaking down, which is a bit stupid. They've been together like, what, a few months, and they're already like falling apart and like either like attacking each other or just, you know, being stupid. Because basically it was Ezekiel Jackson against Kofi Kingston, and then he was like on the outside and he like lifted Kofi up for a military press, but like threw Kofi onto the rest of the core, which is a bit like what. And Ezekiel was saying that he's like the dominant one, and you know that he was going to be the #1 contender. They're already falling apart, which is a bit stupid, because yeah, they've only been together a few months and supposed to be called the core, all equals, but yeah, whatever. I'm not really a fan of them, but you know, it just seems a bit stupid that they're breaking them up already. Cody Rhodes says that beating Ray wasn't enough. He's going to be the #1 contender. Rey Mysterio comes out and sticks one knife in his stomach. That was that, really. I'm lost interest in that feud now, to be fair. Cody Rhodes just needs to unmask and get over it, because it's a bit boring, his character. Ray beats Drew McIntyre. I just thought Drew McIntyre wasn't even at WrestleMania, was he? That's got to be a bit gutting for him. He just seems to be doing like nothing anymore. He's in like, you know, the Elimination Chamber match, and then it's like, ooh, I'm not doing anything anymore. But yeah, I'm rambling today because I think the heat is making my head go funny. It was a really nice tribute video for Edge. The one that they showed on SmackDown was like really good. So. Oh, I miss Edge already. It's just going to be really weird having him on SmackDown. And you know, like Edge, yeah, the thing I thought was Michael Cole, like, was like, during the whole time when Alberto was out, he was going on about, yes, Alberto Del Rio deserves to be the champion, Edge should just give it up and give it to him. But then when Edge actually came out, then Michael Cole was like standing up and like clapping him. And it's like, what, you idiot, you've got to like stick in character. You shouldn't just be all like hating Edge in 1 minute and then like completely sucking up to him the next. Whatever. So Edge comes out and yeah, basically relinquishes the title. Women's match, Kelly Kelly versus Layla. Michelle McCool is an idiot. She was on commentary, and then Josh Matthews, I think it was, asked her a question, and she said, "That's the dumbest question I've ever seen." I think you meant dumbest question you've ever heard. You can't see a question. Anyway, I pick out on these like random things. I like to pick out when wrestlers make mistakes or say stupid things. I have a knack for that. But yeah, so Kelly Kelly wins. Like, you know, Layla doesn't even like get like any offense in the whole match. And basically, Michelle comes in and says, "What was that?" and then pushes Layla down. So that's Layla breaking up, so hopefully Layla completely owns Michelle, because I can't stand her. So then they have a 20-man battle royal, which, to be fair, was a bit boring. Half the people that were in there, I was like, who are you? Because like, they're like people that are like never normally on SmackDown, like never in any feuds. They just turn up for like the 20-man battle royal. But the shot to be the champion, so you like know that half of them are not going to win. The final 6 are Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Chris Masters, Christian, Rey Mysterio, and Jack Swagger. Like I said, Christian. There's no surprise that he was going to win that match. But yeah, so Wade Barrett eliminates Chris Masters, and then, like, as he's literally just done that, Justin Gabriel eliminates Barrett, which obviously is causing more tension between the core. And then Rey Mysterio eliminates Justin Gabriel, Jack Swagger eliminates Rey Mysterio, and then it's just left with Swagger and Christian. Yeah, they were like really giving away, you know, like when they're like, obviously they call the moves to each other. It was so obvious, like, I don't know what it was in that match, it just seemed like Christian could not be bothered. You'd think because he was like the favourite, like, to actually win it, that he'd actually put some effort in, but to me, he just seemed like he really could not care less about that match, and it was like, what? But, I don't know. So yeah, so then obviously in the end, Christian actually did win, because Alberto tried to help Swagger but failed, and then Christian won. He seemed to be like showing like no emotion at the end though, because like Edge came out and hugged him, you know, and like was congratulating him, and Christian was just there like blank face, not doing anything at all. So that was a bit disappointing really, because I thought, oh, at least it would be good to see Christian doing it, but he just seemed like he couldn't care less. I was a bit like, oh, whatever. But yeah, like I said, Raw just seemed really boring. I read that on, obviously now I'm using Twitter more, I read that someone had a sign that said Zack Ryder equals ratings, which he did. You can see it at the very start of Raw, and apparently got taken away by the security because WWE didn't want to have anyone like promoting like Zack Ryder, which seems to be a bit stupid, because I mean he's one of your wrestlers, like why should it like matter if someone's got a sign like, you know, like supporting him or whatever. But anyway, that's just kind of a big topic I was reading about it on Twitter yesterday. A lot of people were outraged at this, so yeah, I don't see what the big deal, you know, is for like WWE if someone has that sign. But for whatever reason they took it down, they didn't want it up there anyway. So yeah, so R-Truth comes out at the start of Raw, is like celebrating his like victory last week so that he can be in the title match. This is like the weirdest and worst segment I've ever seen. It was so boring. Then so yeah, no, he was like, I'm going to be a champion who fights everybody, and it's like, okay, you're so not going to win, but okay. And then John Morrison comes out and says that luck was on R-Truth's side, and he's just like basically winding him up, saying, you know, he's out of shape, he smokes, yeah, he only won because of luck or whatever. So then he challenges R-Truth to a match, putting his like spot in the title match on the line, and John Morrison wins, and it's like, okay, WWE have like no faith in R-Truth whatsoever to be able to compete in a title match. But then obviously R-Truth like actually kind of turns heel and attacks John Morrison, and it was like the whole time it was like, okay, this is boring now, just hurry up and finish already, keep going. I don't know, I haven't actually read, obviously because I stay away from like the results from Raw until like I've done my review. I haven't read what everyone else thinks about this, but to be honest, I don't care. R-Truth bores me as a face, he'll probably bore me as a heel. Just, I don't know what it is about him, he just like, really annoys me. I used to like him when he was K-Quick, way back in like 2001, but now he's just boring. So to be honest, I don't care if he's face or heel, but at least hopefully it'll spice his character up a little bit, because he's just gotten really stale and boring, and hopefully he'll give up with the whole what's up thing, because it's annoying. Yeah, so basically then Evan Bourne faces Dolph Ziggler, who's got a new haircut, and I was like, who's that? It looks really weird. If Vicky hadn't have obviously, you know, said, oh, it's Dolph Ziggler, then I'd have been like, who are you? It just doesn't suit him anymore. Dolph Ziggler's just going to have like the blonde curly hair, and it just looks weird. It looks like a common wrestler now. So yeah, but basically there's a quite nice finish to the match. Evan Bourne goes for the airborne, but misses, but he manages to land on his feet, but like literally just as he landed, Dolph Ziggler hits the zigzag for the win. So that's nice. I really like Dolph Ziggler. I think he's improved a lot, but I just wish he'd get rid of Vicky, because he's just really annoying. So yeah, The Miz and Riley come out next. He just sat in the ring. He says that he thinks it's unfair. He announces that he's got to face John Morrison and John Cena in a steel cage match at Extreme Rules. So they don't normally do triple threat cage matches, so that should actually be quite interesting, because obviously it will, with like trying to escape the cage and stuff, if you've got two people that you've got to like, you know, beat down before you can escape the cage, that should be a bit more interesting, to be honest. But yeah, so they said it's not fair, and Miz like does a sit down strike, saying that he's not going to move until the general manager of Raw changes that. But then Sin Cara comes out and interrupts, you know, his strike, and so does John Cena. That was just weird. John Cena, normally you'd think he would have more of a involvement, especially like in a show in England. He usually normally always like either cuts a promo or just does something, but it was just, he just kind of ran out there and just didn't really show any kind of, I don't know what it was. It's like almost like when they're in England, they just can't be bothered, because like he just didn't really seem to, yeah, put much energy in, or I don't know what it was. But it was a pretty dull match, because it was, yeah, turned into a tag match. It was John Cena and Sin Cara against Alex Riley and The Miz. Yeah, Sin Cara and John Cena won, because at the end Miz just left and abandoned Alex Riley. But the commentators failed to mention that. They didn't say, oh, where's Miz going? He's leaving. You know, you just saw him like walk off. And they just didn't even mention anything about it. And I was like, alright then. So yes, that was pretty dull. Eve versus Nikki Bella was boring. Eve wins. That was all. Michael Cole comes out, well, didn't come out, he just walked into the ring and did this stupid segment about him being knighted by the Queen, apparently. It was, well, just cheesy segments like that are just awful. And he basically says that now that he's a knight, he's like royalty, and he said that JR and the King should kiss his feet. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just fed up with like segments like that. I think they're so stupid and corny and boring, and it's like, get off the screen, put some wrestling on. So then Santino Marella versus Sheamus. Sheamus wins with a bro kick. I got really fed up. I was just playing on my iPod during Raw. Couldn't be bothered to actually watch the wrestling. And the main event was CM Punk versus Randy Orton. And the WrestleMania match was really good, but this one I just couldn't get into for whatever reason. Maybe it's just me. If everyone else liked Raw, please comment and tell me why you liked it, and like say that I was like on drugs or something, because I just couldn't get into it at all. I just thought this is really, really dull. So then Orton wins the match again. You know, you think CM Punk needs some kind of steam in this feud. He's just losing all the time. And then Nexus comes out and attack Orton, and Mason Ryan wants to go for the punt on Orton, but like CM Punk stops him. Mason Ryan tells him to back off, but then CM Punk says no, don't do the punt, I'm going to be the one to do this, and he goes for it, but then Randy Orton jumps up and RKO's him. So again, giving Randy Orton even more like steam in the feud, and it's like, cool, you've got to give CM Punk some kind of advantage or whatever, because so far he's like not got like anything. But yeah, so overall it was pretty dull. So yeah, it's disappointing really. So hopefully Extreme Rules, obviously because we only know like the title matches so far at Extreme Rules, so I don't really know what other ones they're going to have. If I can actually stay up and watch it, because it's bank holiday the day after, and I'm not working bank holiday, so that would be good, so I can stay up and watch it. But yeah, no, so I'm trying to be more kind of, I feel like I haven't really been looking at the camera during this, so I apologise if I'm like looking over there or wherever. But yeah, I'm trying to be more kind of involved with like you guys. Like obviously I always reply to you on comments and stuff on YouTube, but obviously because I only do like 1 or maybe 2 videos a week, I don't really get like a lot of chance to talk to you guys during like the week and stuff. So if any of you guys have Twitter, I've started using that again now that I have my nice little iPod Touch. I've wanted one of these for so long, but I've always thought, oh, it's so expensive. But I managed to get it for like £170, so that's not too bad. So I've got one of these, so I like using it like all the time. So if you have Twitter, you can subscribe to me, or not subscribe to me, follow me, as they call it. I'm thinking of like YouTube and stuff. You can follow me on there. I just write really boring, random things, but you know, at least we can like talk and stuff on that. So it's just Hanahbananabob, but I'll put like a link in the box underneath. And I've also got Skype on there as well, so I can talk on that. So if you're ever on, because it's a lot easier to like chat on that. But obviously, yeah, I don't really do video calls because I look terrible. So it's actually like having to hold it. It's a bit annoying. At least on the computer you can do it with the camera, but that's a bit more difficult. But if you just want to chat and stuff, because I already talked to quite a few people on there. So if you're going to chat to me, I'll put that on there as well. And obviously you guys already know my Facebook, and I don't really go on MSN anymore, so yeah. But I just want to like try and like talk to you guys a lot more than I do already. So yeah, that's cool. I did something the other day that I thought I would never do. I actually bought the Chaperone DVD. This is probably going to be like the cheesiest film ever, but I thought I'd give it a go because it was on offer. So if any of you guys have already seen it, please tell me what it's like, because me and Liam are going to probably watch it tomorrow night after work. So if it's bad, please let me know in advance so I can brace myself. But some of you might say it's really good, so yeah, just let me know if you've seen it. So yeah, that's that. I'm going to stop talking now because I've got to go out in a bit because my mum's going to the dentist, so I'm going in town shopping while she's in there. Yeah, so that is that. I rambled far too long. My feet are going numb as well because I'm sitting on them, so this is a really good time to end the video. So thanks for your comments and stuff. Thank you for anyone who subscribed over the last week, and yeah, keep commenting and stuff. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!